Say that a few more of the stars of the film wandered in, and Uni Blake, would you just stand up and say hi? And Sue Mickley, who hails from the great state of Pennsylvania. Hi, Sue. And I know we have some members of the media here, so I certainly encourage you, if you get a chance, to talk to the women that were in the film. And the film was made about a year ago, and I think it would be an interesting question to ask, what's changed since then in the lives of these women and their communities? That's a question I certainly would ask if I was a journalist. Anyway, before we introduce the next set of speakers, there were a number of articles in the news today, including some statistics. I just wanted to mention a few of those. There was a piece I think it actually might have been in the paper a day or two ago, basically talking about New York's economy and our rate of economic growth, which was only 1.3% in 2012 statewide. Now, from an economist standpoint and from a financial, an investor standpoint, 1.3% rate of growth is an anemic economy. And that's statewide. That doesn't look at what the rate of growth is in the southern tier. Another statistic, North Dakota's rate of growth was 13.4% due to oil and gas development. A few more statistics a little closer to home as a result of the recent census. City of Binghamton, 51% of the population are women. 30% of the people in Binghamton are below the poverty level. This impacts women and it impacts families, the fact that there has not been progress in achieving opportunity for families. Another interesting statistic reported by CNN Money a couple weeks ago. 46% of the new jobs in the oil and gas industry are going to women. So yes, you will see women on the rigs, not a lot, because it is very hard physical work, but women are obtaining employment in many positions in this industry. Engineering, surveying, you're geologists, women in business, investments, management, communications. There are women in this room today who run businesses, who work with the oil and gas industry in Pennsylvania and would like to do that in New York. So I encourage all of you to get to know each other as much as you can, and I think after the event we will share contact information so you can connect. I think it's very important for economic opportunity that there be networking. This is a great place to start. And the Women's Energy Leadership Coalition is also an organization that you may want to consider joining. Uni Blake, who's here, heads the Women's Energy Leadership Coalition, which is a grassroots effort that was started by Uni and several of the women that she had been working with locally. And I think originally was at least 50 women that got together to talk about this issue and what they could do to move this forward in New York. So without further ado, I want to introduce a woman who's been very engaged in this issue in the Broome County area. Stacy Duncan is the Manager for Governmental Relations for the Greater Binghamton Chamber of Commerce. Stacy has served in this capacity from 1999 to 2000, and again from 2009 to the present. She directs business advocacy efforts on behalf of the Chamber's diverse membership. She serves as the Binghamton Liaison for Unshackle Upstate, a bipartisan coalition of chambers of commerce and industry associations working to improve the business climate in New York. Stacy also works on special initiatives such as Startup Weekend Binghamton, Air Service Development, and serves as on the SUNY Works and Airport Advisory Boards. Stacy is also a member of the Board of Trustees for Roberson Museum and Science Center. She's the race director for the Greater Binghamton Bridge Run, a half marathon and 5K road running event, which the Chamber began in 2011. Previously, she worked as executive assistant to former Broome County Executive Jeffrey Cramp, an early intervention outreach coordinator in the Syracuse area, and as a graduate teaching assistant in the Binghamton University Masters of Public Administration program. Stacy attended St. Bonaventure University and Binghamton University. By the way, St. Bonaventure has a gas well on its property, in case you didn't know that. Stacy is a native of Enwell, where she resides with her husband and 3 children. Welcome, Stacy Duncan.
Thank you very much. I did not know that about Bonnie's, but another reason I love it that much more. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak to you all. It's nice to be in a room of supporters on such an important issue, and what a great program to put together today. So it's great to be here. A few years ago, which is starting to seem like a lifetime ago, our board of directors issued a guest viewpoint. I think it was probably one of the first official, formal pieces of literature that the board put out and to offer our support for natural gas. It was just prior to the EPA hearings in September 2010. And we titled it Fueling the Future of the Empire State. And truly, I can't think of another economic development issue that's as vital to the state as a whole, not just the southern tier, as the development of the Marcellus Shale. And interestingly, as many of you are probably reading, and I'm sure Heather will speak to, in the waning days of session in Albany, there's a lot of talk on how we stimulate the upstate economy specifically. And you kind of scratch your head for a while because you just want to have everybody, look down and say, well, it's right here. It's really should be that simple. But unfortunately, here we are this many years later still urging to move New York forward. We, the Chamber as an organization, have always felt that natural gas benefits, economic benefits, and protection of the environment are in no ways mutually exclusive of one another. And to the contrary, if you read states like Pennsylvania, shale states, they're seeing lower reduction in carbon emissions, investment in agricultural land, while they're still getting the benefits of job growth and investment. Our diversity of membership is really one of the main reasons why we support natural gas as well. We get asked a lot, you have so many diverse members, how do you know that everybody supports this? Well, first, we always poll our members every year on their legislative priorities, and without a doubt, overwhelmingly, natural gas is probably number 1 on the list year after year for probably the last 4 years. But it is that diversity that we recognize is the reason why we have to support natural gas development, because there's benefit for businesses, not just our members, but businesses in the southern tier region as a whole, and this goes across the board. This is going to benefit small business growth opportunity. This is going to help companies that can become part of the supply chain, and certainly lowering energy costs is a key priority for our members and should be for the state as well. And also, too, the potential to build an energy workforce is something that we want to see grow for schools like BCC, BU, and other schools across the southern tier. So we're with you, and we're going to continue along with you. I look forward to establishing new relationships. And the last thing I'll leave you with is I have a niece that will be graduating high school in just a couple weeks, and she'll be starting her studies at BCC in geology, and then most likely transferring to a school in New York State. And I just can't help but think, and I keep hoping, how great it would be if when she leaves when she's done in 4 years, if one of those geology jobs are here in New York State for her, because I want her, selfishly, I want her here in New York State. And I know there's a lot of opportunity in geology for women these days, so I think it's fantastic wherever she ends up. But, I really hope in 4 years she's able to graduate from college and walk into a great paying job in, doing geological work in the gas industry. So thank you for a few moments. I'm very pleased to be able to introduce Heather Brachetti, President and CEO of the Business Council. I love this technology.